Joining me now is Senate Judiciary Committee member, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator Kennedy, you're one of the Republican senators at yesterday's luncheon with President Trump. How should the U.S. react to North Korea and the threat from North Korea, and then also what's happening with China on the trade discussions?
Well, a couple of points. Kim Jong Un is a goon. He's a butcher. He heads a third-rate country that is trying to develop nuclear weapons. Number two, he wants to make a deal. He wants to make a deal because we're starving him half to death. And I hate to have to do it to the North Korean people, but we're starving the country half to death with sanctions. And they're well aware of what President Trump did in Syria, that military option is still on the table. Number three, I'm not especially worried about his announcement. I mean, I look at it as a, kind of a fastball, high and tight, where a pitcher tries to back off the batter a little bit, but he knows he's got to throw a strike, otherwise the batter's going to walk and get on base. So this is just part of the negotiations. The last point I'd make is that I think China completely controls Kim Jong Un. And I don't think it's a coincidence that recently the boy king made a trip to China, probably got some advice about negotiating. But I don't see this as a particularly big deal. I just keep doing what we're doing. If they don't like what Mr. Bolton said, I hope Mr. Bolton doubles down.
Senator James Freeman here at the Journal. As you said, this butcher is running a third-rate economy, really a tiny little economy. Much smaller than the disputes we have with China over trade. If China is calling the shots, do you expect them to deliver to Donald Trump a defanged North Korea as part of these negotiations?
Don't know yet. I think China wants this settled as much as we do, and frankly, as much as Kim Jong Un does. China doesn't want to see North Korea collapse and all the poor folks from North Korea flood into China, because then China will have to support them. Someone needs to help them, because their boy king sure isn't. China is also concerned about a buildup of military forces in South Korea and in Japan. I mean, it's in China. China doesn't have values; it has interests, and this is in the interest of China to see this settlement reached, and I think we'll reach one. It's got to be a good one, though. I mean, I think we're holding better cards than Kim Jong Un is, and I think those sanctions are really biting. I think they really, and we can make them stronger.
Senator, I also want to ask you about the latest controversy around the Cambridge Analytica scandal at Facebook.
Yeah.
The Justice Department and FBI are now reportedly launching an investigation into the now defunct political data firm. This is according to the New York Times. Meantime, the Senate Judiciary Committee, you're on it, is holding a hearing today on Cambridge Analytica, the future of data privacy. The firm's former research director, whistleblower Christopher Wiley, is set to testify before the panel on which you sit. Senator, what are you looking to hear from him, and will you be prepared with more colorful questions, or statements rather, as you were from Mark Zuckerberg?
Well, I'm interested in talking to Mr. Wiley about how it worked from the inside. But in terms of Cambridge Analytica, look, it allegedly obtained its data unlawfully from Facebook. And the FBI and Justice will get to the bottom of that. But to be frank, Cambridge Analytica didn't do anything that Facebook doesn't do every day. Cambridge Analytica is one of these political digital consulting firms. They try to sell candidates to voters. Facebook does that every day. It sells candidates, ideas, products. And to me, the larger issue here is that the accumulation of our data, led by Facebook. Facebook reaches about 27% of all the people in the entire world. It has the ability to influence what we believe, who we vote for, what we buy, how we feel. Now, that's okay if people voluntarily go to Facebook, but I think Facebook needs to do a better job of telling people the type of data that it collects on all of us. People think, well, I just go to Facebook and post something, and that's all they have on me. No. Facebook even has an ability, it's called the Facebook Pixel, to follow you around other websites. Now, as long as the American people understand, I'm cool with that. I'm pretty libertarian. I mean, I don't believe the lottery is a good idea, but I wouldn't vote to outlaw it. I just think the lottery is a tax on the poor. But if people understand, and I think they do, that their odds of winning the damn thing are not very good, you know, this is America. You can play it if you want to. And Facebook's the same way. I don't want to regulate them half to death, but Facebook is constantly pushing the envelope. And they need to I've got a bill in to try to do this. They need to level with people and say, look, here's what we're up to. Here's what we're doing. The other issue on Facebook is the propaganda. Everybody can agree that Facebook, and these, I don't mean to pick on Facebook, the other digital media platforms, but all the platforms are spreading poison. Okay, that's easy. Here's the tough one. What's poison? You quickly get off into First Amendment issues.
Right.
And I don't necessarily want Facebook to decide what I can see and what I can't see. On the other hand, I also don't want them spreading fake news that's obviously not true and trying to influence people in terms of their life.